my name is Stefano Luminari. I'm professor of medical oncology at the University of Modena, Reggio Emilia, and I work at the hematology unit of the Reggio Emilia Research Hospital in Italy. So today we are discussing about the good news of a new agent that has been approved in Europe, which is Odronextamab, a novel anti-CD20, anti-CD3 bispecific antibody, which based on the results of two large studies on diffuse large B-cell lymphoma and follicular lymphoma, and based on the very good results in terms of response, efficacy, and safety profile, achieved these results of approval by the European Agency for Medical Products. So Odronextamab has been approved for both follicular and diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, relapsed refractory. That means that we can now use this agent in hard-to-treat patients, starting from diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. A relapsed refractory patient with this disease had actually very low chances of a good cure option and treatment options. And with this bispecific antibody, which is Odronextamab, now we are able to achieve a significant amount of responses, which is around 50%, which are durable, with a median duration of response that ranges from 11 to 13 months, and with a very good safety profile, which is mainly dominated by a low to medium risk of cytokine release syndrome, which is mainly concentrated during cycle 1. Conversely, in follicular lymphoma, relapsed refractory patient, we have the data of the ELM2 study, which included more than 100 patients, and again, single agent Odronextamab was associated with a very high response rate, which is around 80%, with an incredibly high complete response rate, which is around 70%, with a very interesting long duration of remission, which is around 23 months. And similar to diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, the safety profile observed in the follicular lymphoma relapsed refractory patient in the ELM2 study is in favor of a very manageable treatment option, again, mainly characterized by a low to medium risk of cytokine release syndrome, again occurring during cycle 1. So the treatment landscape of both diffuse large B-cell lymphoma and follicular lymphoma, starting from late lines of therapy, which means treatment of relapsed refractory patient, is actually changing very rapidly with the introduction mainly of chemo-free agents. And among the chemo-free agents, the best results are achieved with cellular therapy, I mean CAR-T, and T-cell engager agents like bispecific antibody. And among the bispecific antibody, Odronextamab is a new active options that is added to those that are already available, providing physicians with the possibility to choose for the single patient the best treatment based on the different characteristics of these agents, which all show very high activity and a similar safety profile, with some different characteristics which can perfectly fit the different patient that every physician, every hematology oncology has to manage every day. So the introduction of this class of agents, and in particular of Odronextamab, then is actually changing the landscape of treatment, because not only this is active, but it is a novel concept of treatment which allows to foresee additional changes for the future landscape of the treatment of these diseases, hopefully moving from late lines of therapy, which is now the situation, to earlier lines of therapy. The recent approval of Odronextamab, at least in Europe, and hopefully soon also in US, is only the start of I think, a very interesting story. The good news about bispecific agents, and in particular Odronextamab, is that considering the safety profile and the high activity, this agent can be very well combined with other compounds. And I think this is the future of Odronextamab. in combination with other chemo-free option, odronextamab plus another agent has the possibility to actually change the treatment scenario and the treatment option, not only of the relapsed refractory patient, but also earlier lines of therapy. And there are actually several clinical trials which are testing the efficacy of odronextamab in combination with not only chemo-free agent, but also chemotherapy in earlier line of therapy for both follicular and diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, in second line, but also in first line therapy. And if this treatment will be positive as designed and planned and hypothesized, this will actually represent a major advance for the treatment of these diseases. I remember the story of rituximab, which is the anti-CD20 monoclonal antibody, which when it was proposed 20 years ago, it was associated with a significant activity when used as a single agent, but then it changed everything for the treatment of B-cell lymphoma, considering the excellent results achieved with this agent when combined with other conventional treatment like chemotherapy in that case. So I hope, and I guess the same future can be foreseen for odronextamab.